Well, hello there. Yep, we're back for another video. This time, we're gonna do a little bit of a different video where I'm not gonna have gameplay. Well, I will have gameplay, but it's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be a gameplay video or something. Today, we're going to rank every single killer in Forsaken from worst to best, in my opinion. So don't get mad at my comments if I diss your favorite killer. This is my opinion and the opinion of somebody with 18 days of playtime. So my opinion might be better or worse. It just depends. We're gonna go through every single killer and we're gonna rank them from lowest to highest, the lowest being number 5 and the highest being number 1, and we'll talk about why I think they're where they are and what they're good at, what they're bad at, you know. And you know, this is a short video I'm gonna upload because I feel like uploading, and I wanted to make this video a long time ago. I think you can tell by the thumbnail being the old render for Jason, but yeah, then Noli came out when I was going to make it, so I had to wait to get him maxed so I could get a genuine opinion on him. And yeah, here we are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and without a doubt, without further ado, let's get into the first killer on the list. At the bottom of the list, we have Jason. And before anybody gets mad at me, because for some reason I found out that a lot of people like to glaze this killer and try to say he's good, let me explain. Jason is the starter killer of this game, and it's not even a debate. He literally is. You don't have anybody else but Jason when you first start this game. And Jason beating the starter killer is really weird for me, because I find Jason to be surprisingly harder to play than people actually respect him for. Raging Pace is like how it actually works is not really like directly told to you and like showed to you how to actually use it fully. It doesn't really tell you exactly how. And same with the head giving helpless. Like they didn't really tell you exactly how his moves should be working. They kind of just make you run up and, you know, abuse his speed to kill people really close up. And to me, that's what he's supposed to be doing, obviously. But let's get into why in my opinion, he's the worst killer in the game. To me, he's the worst killer because of one simple thing, and that is that he has no ranged moves. I know that sounds dumb to think about, but in a game like this, where it's mostly stamina management, ranged moves do help even the gap. Because if a survivor has more stamina, like more distance, and they have more stamina than you, then you're just not gonna catch them, even with Raging Pace usually. And it just sucks playing Jason, especially against a good team, because you're not gonna be able to do anything. The thing about Jason is he's basically a targeting killer. People like to pronounce him as that, even though he can literally change targets whenever he wants because he's faster and has Raging Pace. I don't know why people think they have to target with him. Sure, you usually do, but you can switch targets whenever you want. It really doesn't matter. As long as you're capable, as long as you know you can kill that person, then you can switch whenever you want. As for, you know, my main issue with Jason is, I want to play a clip right now. As you can see, this is a fence, right? It's a fence, and there's a Jason. All I'm doing is just simply running around this fence. Please note, I do not use loops, and I am heavily against them. Don't abuse loops. It's stupid. Just play the game normally. But anyways, moving on. As you can see, I'm just literally running around this fence. And what can Jason do? Nothing. Every other killer can do something. With Noli's Nova, Cool Kids Watch Me Ride, or Corrupt Nature, or his minions, 1x Entertainment, or Mass Affection, and John Doe Spikes, or Digital Footprint. Every other killer has a way to prevent this from happening, except Jason. You physically just can't get someone 90% of the time you're playing Jason, unless you manage to manage your stamina really well and use Raging Pace. Which to me, it just doesn't really make sense for a starter killer, and it really misleads people, and makes them just want to buy Cool Kid to play him, because he's much easier. And I agree, Cool Kid is definitely easier than Jason. There's not even a debate about that. And this is kind of why I just think he's genuinely worse than everybody. He just has so little to work with compared to everybody else. Everybody else has such a variety in their kit, and so many different ways you could keep up, or do this or do that. But then there's Jason, who just kind of bomb rushes at you, and that's kind of it. But then again, Cool Kid does as well, and we'll talk more about that later. Without further ado, let's just move on to the next killer on the list. Next on the list, we have Cool Kid. And oh boy, this list is probably crazy to look at now, because Cool Kid used to be the best killer in the entire game. And oh my god, was he broken when I first uploaded that video, man. But Cool Kid in his current state is honestly surprisingly underwhelming. Without his speed right now, Cool Kid would be literally impossible to win with. His tracking ability is really buggy and is really bad. Corrupt Nature is really easy to dodge, and sometimes it's even worth it. The only good thing about Cool Kid is his insane speed and his insanely fast M1s. Blast Speed Override got nerfed. It is basically impossible to land besides punishing now. It sure can go through walls, we've established this multiple times because this game sucks. But my main issue with Cool Kid is just how much he got nerfed and how little his moves can actually do for him now. Blast Speed Override kind of carried his kit, I'm not gonna lie. And now he's just not as good. And the reason I think he's the second worst now is because of Mr. Noli, who is literally just Cool Kid but on goddamn steroids. Nova is just a better version of Corrupt Nature, and it works way more efficiently, and Void Rush is miles better than Blast Speed Override, and can also hit through walls. So really, there's no point to even use Cool Kid right now if you could just use Noli. The only downside of Noli is his horrible M1, but that's really it. Noli doesn't really rely on his ability. He doesn't really rely on his M1s. He uses his abilities to kill people. And with the new update where clones can Void Rush and stuff, it's just crazy how much better he is than Cool Kid now. And yeah, I really don't have much to say about this dude. Cool Kid just got really, really badly nerfed, and I just don't think he's anywhere near as good as he used to be. And I feel like the skill ceiling with him is just kind of expired now, because sure, he's easy, but people have gotten good enough with the other killers that they can make the other killers like John Doe and 1X more efficient than they used to be, than compared to Cool Kid. Anyways, that's pretty much it for Cool Kid. Let's just move on to the next one, alright? Time for some murder indeed. Next up we have Noli, which is the most recent killer and recently came out, and oh boy, was this killer a rough one to get used to. But when you get used to this killer, he is ridiculously good. I originally kind of shot on Noli for being surprisingly bad at first, mainly because of his hallucinations, which was kind of underwhelming and everybody could just tell what they did. However, when I learned how to use his kit more effectively, and now that his hallucinations got buffed to be able to Void Rush and move better, it's just crazy how good he is. Nova is one of the best moves in the entire game. It sucks them into the direction, it sucks them into the middle of where they hit. It has a massive hitbox. Oh my god, Nova's hitbox is so big. And Void Rush can hit multiple people, and the second part is a slam that does like 50 damage, bro. Like, he is such a good killer. Observant gives everybody hallucination 3, which means you can instantly slam them and sneak attack them from anywhere. And they're constantly having to distract themselves by the hallucinations, trying to figure out if it's even you or stuff. Not to mention, the hallucinations kind of make them waste stamina in a way. because unless they know not to stand still because they're gonna get hit by a Void Rush if they do that. So they have to constantly keep moving, which makes them waste stamina. Meaning when you do Void Rush to them, even if you miss, you'll have a stamina advantage on them, which is just genuinely insane. And Noli's M1 may be bad, but its range is surprisingly good. I don't know if it's just hitboxes, but Noli's M1 get hit from really far sometimes. I don't really know why, but it can. There's also the fake gens that can mess people up if they're new and makes them have to waste time to actually check the gen to see if it's even real or not, which could buy you some time to, you know, actually kill everyone. I just think he's a genuinely amazing killer now. I used to think he was kind of bad at first, but he's just, oh my god, the skill ceiling on him feels so satisfying when you wipe the whole lobby with him, man, because he's really difficult. I don't want to argue he's the hardest killer in the game right now, but, you know, obviously, you're not always gonna win with Noli, and you're not always gonna win with anybody. I mean, you lose here and there, but if you want to guarantee you win, then just get good with the last killer on the list, and I promise you, you will very, very rarely lose. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, which is the second best killer in the game, and then we'll go on to the first best. At the second best spot, we have none other than John Doe, the March 18th guy who was famous for being one of the worst killers in the game, if not the worst, and now he's one of the best. It's crazy how that works, isn't it? Let me explain. John Doe has always been known as being the worst killer in the game, for being really underwhelming, really hard, and just genuinely not having much to do besides trapping people. However, with the recent changes he's gotten, he is no longer just a trapping killer. He can very quickly kill you just alone by himself, without even using his moves. His M1s do 28 damage without a status effect. That is actually crazy to think about. That means he can 3-shot Elliot. He's the only other killer besides 1X that can do this. As for his actual moves, we have, let's go over them, right? We have Corrupt Energy, which is obviously probably one of his best moves. I don't think it's better than Footprint, but Corrupt Energy is good for sniping. It gives you speed if you land it, it highlights the person, and they come out genuinely faster now. It's also impossible to stand in front of John Doe now, which makes it even better. They come out really fast, they're a really good move for blocking people off and killing them in corners, and combining it with Footprint basically guarantees someone dies. Speaking of Footprint, let's get to that. Footprint is still, in my opinion, the best killer ability in the entire game. Being able to literally cut off an entire area by just clicking a button is genuinely overpowered as hell. And with Big Spot, get rid of it with Footprint. Really good, like, you know, Break Spot, get rid of it with Footprint. Like, oh, they're getting away, and they're looping around, they're looping around the castle on Brennan works. Footprint on the other side, and you go up the ramp. They're forced to go back towards you. It's just an overpowered move, genuinely. John Doe is so good right now. And combined with his passive still being achievable with parrying, which is usually only good against guests, if you have good enough skill, you can make John Doe literally unbeatable. He is a force to be reckoned with right now, compared to how he used to be, and I prefer the way he is now. Sure, he's locked behind a very, very high skill ceiling, but it's the same way as 1X, where if you're not good with him, he's not gonna be good. Except 1X cannot say the same. Speaking of 1X, let's get to that. do I really even need to say anything? Like, do I even need to say anything? This killer is, without a doubt, the best killer in the game. I don't know why people think he's bad. People who think he's bad, let me explain why he's not. Because I am a 1x main, and I can wipe lobbies literally with ease, even if they have 10 plus days with 1x. He is that goated at a killer. Let me explain. For starters, let's talk about his M1s. They inflict Glitched and Poison. Glitched is kind of just the one that messes up your screen, but Poison not only damages them slowly over time, but works like weakness, meaning the more you hit them, the more damage it'll do. This applies for his other moves as well, meaning if you hit a close-up Mass Infection and M1, it'll kill someone instantly, including guests. Yes, that's right, if you Entanglement, Mass Infection up close, and M1 a guest, they will die instantly. Yeah, the tankiest survivor in the game can die within like 5 seconds, not even. Crazy, right? On top of that, the poison and glitch effects also stack on other moves as a whole, meaning you could hit an M1 and then hit Entanglement, and Entanglement would do like a bonus 12 health. Not 12 health, so it'll do 12 damage, sorry, my bad. Anyways, that means if you hit an M1 and then Entanglement, instead of doing 10 damage, it'll do like 12. It's genuinely crazy how people think this guy is bad. He can literally obliterate you in like 10 seconds. All you need to do is hit Entanglement, and boom, you basically win a chase. What's that? They have really good distance and a stamina advantage? Boom, Entanglement. They're stopped, and you get speed 2, and you immediately catch up and have a stamina advantage because they had to stop. It's genuinely stupid how broken 1x is. Then we have Mass Infection. Reminder, his projectiles have infinite range, so they can hit from anywhere. The only thing that makes him not overpowered enough, like, that's not, like, actually unbeatable, is that Mass Infection has a sound cue, so, you know, you'll always hear it. Entanglement does not, and it has a small hitbox. That's it. Unstable Eye gives speed and lets you see everybody in the entire map. Pretty broken, still. This character is actually broken. Then we have Rejuvenate the Run, which recently got nerfed, however, it's still a good move. You still get speed for 10 seconds every minion kill, and they can still chase survivors, and they still do 15 damage. Which seems like not a lot, but oh my god, that damage makes such a difference, man. It makes such a difference. When you're just chasing someone, and they have to constantly avoid minions and waste stamina, it's basically just wraps at that point, bro. His LMS is still insanely strong. So yeah, that's it. 1x is the best killer in the game. I don't care what you say. Stop saying he's bad and just learn to aim. I'm not being rude, I'm being serious. Y'all who think 1x is bad just need to learn to aim. That's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.